There was a lukewarm to hostile reception when the government released the much-anticipated ACCC report into grocery prices. Australia seems saddled with a cosy supermarket duopoly, happy enough to generally match each other's prices rather than undercut them. Could or should the Rudd government be doing more to spoil the party? And welcome to the program, Chris Bowen.
Good morning.
Well, Minister, retailers claim Grocery Choice, the website we spoke about, is basically a free ad for Coles and Woolworths, mainly at the expense of the independents.
I wouldn't bother logging on. The website's a nonsense. It's an absolute farce. This is a cheap stunt by the government to try to be seen to fulfil an election promise that they're trying to wiggle out of, which was to make sure prices were cheaper for Australian working families in the grocery market.
Well, Minister, just picking up one of the points Mr Driscoll made there, the super IGA stores, which are in direct competition with the big supermarkets, Woolies and Coles supermarkets, they don't appear on the website. That's obviously an omission, isn't it?
Well, no, we have a segment for independents. Now, it's important
everybody's in there.
No, it's important to, and there's been some misunderstanding or some misinformation about this over the last week. Every store in the independents column is an independent that is supplied by Metcash. So there's no 7-Elevens, there's no convenience stores. Every store is a store over 1,000 square metres, which is in that independent category. So they are supplied by Metcash on the mainland or by the equivalent in Tasmania. So there's no mixing up IGAs or other independents with other groups. They're all there in the independents column, and it's all about transparency. People can log on, check the prices in their area, and then make their own decision based on convenience, customer service, quality, etc.
Well, the Prime Minister spoke about needing to fine-tune Grocery Choice. What fine-tuning has he in mind?
Well, in fairness, I actually raised the issue of improvements when I announced Grocery Choice, and I've been in discussion with some of the retailers, consumer groups for some time, but these are only really discussions you can put out once the website's up and running and once the report is out. So this is an important step, but really what we have now is more information than consumers have had before. Up until recently, all consumers have had to go by is the Choice Survey, which comes out every so often and which is quite broad in its scope. Now, this is a monthly survey across a region. It doesn't apply to every supermarket. It was never going to. It doesn't apply to every good because that would be too difficult to do. But it does give people a snapshot and a guide. Lots of us get into the habit of shopping at the same supermarket. I think many of us do. And the ACCC report showed that not many people shop around, but that over 50% of people would change supermarkets if they could find one which has got prices at 5% or more cheaper. So I think more information is something very hard to argue with.
When we return with the panel, fueling this